Hi everybody, it's Bridget. And it's been a while. I want to do a 2-week update, even though the baby will be 3 weeks old on Wednesday. Before it got any closer, I wanted to go ahead and do a 2-week update on him. He's been doing really good. He's definitely grown at least an inch in length. He's nursing pretty good. Some days it seems like he's just he has like an endless pit of a stomach. And then some days it seems like all he really does is sleep, and that he doesn't eat as much. And I also noticed a couple of nights he was extra fussy, even though he did go to bed and sleep all night. He was just really fussy in the evening. And I'm not sure if it's gas, because I noticed today he was kind of fussy, yesterday he was kind of fussy, and I could feel a lot of gas bubbles kind of rolling around and popping in his belly, and he was farting a lot. They were pretty loud, so I don't know if it's that. And I also noticed before he did it the first time, I had started drinking a lot more milk, and thought maybe that was it, so I just quit drinking the milk. And I don't know if it's just a coincidence or what, but he's not been as fussy. So, it might just be that. He went to the doctor, for a weight check. I'm trying to think when it was. He was a week and a couple days, I think. So I can't remember when I did my last video, but he was up to 7 pounds 7 ounces. So he gained a couple ounces, but I'm sure he's gained a lot more since then. But he goes back to the doctor on July 28th for his 1-month checkup, and then I'll do an update after he has that, and we see what he weighs and how long he is. His cord fell off July 8th, so he was only like 9 days old when it fell off. So that was gone, and what do you think? It's been spitting up a little bit, but I think it's because of the heat, because I notice it's usually we're out somewhere where it's warm, or when our air conditioner's off and it gets a little bit warmer, he kind of spits up, and it's like got like where the milk is separated, and it's almost chunky looking, the breast milk. And I think it's just because he might get, a little too warm. But he's been doing really good. He's been sleeping all night. He usually wakes up about right around 3 o'clock or 3:30, and he'll be hungry, and I'll feed him, and he goes right back to sleep. He doesn't even finish on one side before he falls back asleep. And then he sleeps until anywhere from 8 to 9, and then he'll wake up. So it's nice to be able to get that much sleep. He does Seems like, you know, it's quite a bit of sleep for him, but yawning. But yeah, he does really good at night. His sisters love him to death. His brothers love him to death, and they're always wanting to hold him. My oldest daughter, she's 10, and she wants to change his diapers. Excuse me. She's always wanting to change his diapers and to hold him and just pretty much do anything that she can. And he absolutely hates baths, even though it's something that he's gonna have to have. He gets his bath every other day, and if I don't give it to him during the day, then I give it to him at night. But he hates it. He screams the whole time. So I guess eventually he'll quit that and decide he likes it. I finally cut his nails for the first time. They were getting long, and our washing machine, the timing thing on it is not right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so when it doesn't work, it will just stay in one cycle and stay there and keep running till you change the cycle manually with your hand, and sometimes that doesn't even work. But it'll just keep running. So I've had to get the laundromat a couple times till the landlord fixes it or gets a new washer. And I was sitting in the laundromat and noticed his little nails finally kind of came loose a little bit there at the top. After they're born, I've noticed with all mine, I mean, you can see that they're long, but it's almost like they're still stuck to their skin at the end, even though it looks like you could trim it. So I just waited and was able to finally trim them. This past Friday, so just a couple days ago. They finally loosened up so I could cut them. Trying to think. We've just been kind of staying inside, trying to stay in the cool air. I'm just taking it easy, trying to recover. He's sleeping, but let me see if I can hook him up here. I try to put some videos on here, just him when he's awake and stuff. You gonna open your eyes? He's got a little blood spot in his eye. I'm gonna have the doctor check it out when we go on the 28th. I thought, and I still think it's just from during his birth, you know, from squeezing his head. Maybe it, you know, just broke a little blood vessel in his eye. It's just like a little tiny red spot. It's nothing big. So funny because he looks so big when I look at pictures of him, and even on here I think he looks big. Oh, he's going to sleep. And the peep eye. He loves his beans. These are really good. None of my other kids, 4 kids, took them. But he loves pacifiers. But they're these. They're called Gumdrop. But they're not the Gumdrop by the first years that you find in the store. Here's this orange one. We actually got them on eBay. We got like 10 of them, I think for $7 something. And some of them I gave away with, for like baby showers and stuff. You know, I throw one in the bag. Because I had 10 of them and I didn't think he would use that many anyway, so. But he really likes these. And they're vanilla scented. And somebody told me that if you breastfeed that you weren't supposed to use these because the babies would somehow would just want that all the time or something, or you'd have a hard time breastfeeding or something. Can't remember what I heard, but he does really well. He doesn't seem to have any trouble with anything. And it's nice if you can't feed them right away, like if you're in the car driving, so I can just get my oldest daughter to give him the pacifier, and that usually will satisfy him for a little bit so I can get home to feed him or get to, you know, wherever I'm going to be able to feed him. My friend, I don't know, I think I've mentioned it before, but she was due in August. She finally had her baby. He was 5 weeks early, but he's doing really good. She was in the hospital for, I think, a couple months with preeclampsia, and her blood pressures just kept getting too high, and finally they said if you have one more spike in your blood pressure that we're going to induce you, and sure enough she did. And they put her, they gave her Cytotec at first on Wednesday to help thin her out, and then they put her on Pitocin later that day. So it took a while though for her to dilate, so we were hoping that he was going to be born before midnight on Wednesday, because then our babies would be exactly 2 weeks apart. So she ended up actually having the next day, so they're 2 weeks and 1 day apart. But he's doing really good. He's just started taking his feedings and holding them down. And just found out he had jaundice today, so they got him under the light. So if he can just keep eating and keep his food down, and they get the jaundice, you know, level down, then he'll be able to come home with his mommy and daddy. But he's really cute. His name's Jude Eli. And he was 5 pounds 9 ounces, but he was 19 3/4 inches long. So that's pretty long for just a 35-week baby. So that's only a 1/4 inch shorter than what Christian was when he was born. I think that's about it. I'm going to do a labor and delivery story, but I want to kind of write some of this stuff down and really think about the different things that went on and make sure I get as much information to you guys as I can, because it was a very unexpected long labor, longer than any of my other ones. So, well, attempt at labor, I should say. But it didn't end in a C-section. I still had him vaginally and everything. But hopefully I can get that done here maybe tomorrow night, or I want to try to get it done this week. I'm sure there's people out there that want to hear it. I know I like listening to them. And I guess that's it. And I will see you guys hopefully later this week. So, hope you all have a good week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.